was beautiful. I was reading this portion, and I was thinking about this kotnot or this idea of having a rope, a kotnot, to enter in the temple, you know. And I saw that you were gonna talk about Yehuda's archery, so
Yes.
I was trying to connect it. When I saw the topic, I was thinking, oh, maybe we are connected in this idea of protection, and about how can we settle the things that happen to us, you know, when we are not in our correct, let's say, dress. But it's just one idea that came to me, and I'm so happy to hear your voice and to see that Charles is here. So I'm all ears here, Eti, to follow you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your impressions and learning and studying and the question that arises. Good afternoon, Charles. I hope you can hear us.
Shabbat Shalom, Eti. Shabbat Shalom, Fernando.
Shabbat Shalom, Charles. How are you today?
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm okay because it's Shabbat.
So you have a bit of peace, rest a bit, yes?
Yeah,
Hmm.
relaxing.
Very good. Good to
Mm.
hear that you're relaxing. I prepared for us something that during my research on Google Museum, I found something and I would like to share with you perspectives. It's quite vast, deep, and infinite, but I would like to share those impressions with you. Charles, do you have an access to the concept board? Do you see something or you just hear us?
Now I was not connected to my computer,
Mm-hmm. You're,
so
can you take the time, maybe take few
okay.
moments, maybe it will help
Yeah, okay, I'll do
because
that now.
the discussion can be much more wider and deeper when more people participate in it. In this is art, and I would like to discuss with you concepts
Okay,
of.
let me switch it on.
Yeah, so take your time. And Victoria Meyer on YouTube. Shabbat Shalom, Victoria. Good afternoon. Nice to see you here. Shalom, sons of the infinite. Good to hear you all. Shalom, 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 Victoria. Thank you for writing to us. Charles, give us a green light whenever you have the concept board open that we could open the discussion. And I will
Okay,
open. Yes, you have it?
now I'm opening. I'm opening.
Okay, so Victoria, also you're following us on YouTube. Victoria, tell us what you see. I would like to open the major picture here. This is Gobelin. You know, Gobelin is an art form of stitching. Now we just see a painting, but with a little, very focused glance, we can see that it's like Gobelin, like from France, like stitching little stitches with many colors that it brings a picture. And before, this is about 18th century, this is 1781, 1783. This is South American landscape. This is the keywords that I was looking for in Google Museum. This is what it brought to us. And try to focus. I'll make it as bigger as possible. One second. Victoria, tell me what you see. Victoria, please participate in writing. And Charles and Fernando by voice and by looking at yes, now we have it. So please tell us what do you see here before we move to the biblical verse and to others ideas that I have planned with you.
I can see a beautiful landscape, a very tropical landscape, and with Indians and with nature and with an archery, pointing his bow to the air.
Thank you. And Charles, what do you see? Victoria, please write to us on YouTube what you see, what is your impression. Charles, what is your impression from the painting? Let's call it, this is Gobelin, but what is your impression? If you can hear us, I'm not sure that there's a sound from Charles at the moment. Charles? There's no speaker from Charles.
Yes.
What do you see the painting of the archer?
Yeah.
Yes. So I would just try to focus in this painting that the man is holding the arch. Let's look at the arch itself, the arrow, and I would like to read with you one verse from the Lamentation of David. David lost his best friend, Jonathan. Jonathan, the son of Shaul, King Shaul, and his son Jonathan died at the same day. Shaul was, if we could say, like a rival of David, and Jonathan, his son, was David's best friend. And they died in the same day, the father and the son, Shaul and Jonathan. And David composed a lamentation. Lamentation is like a sad poem when people are dying. And I would like to read with you one verse. I would like to ask one of you to read the Hebrew verse from the Lamentation of David on Jonathan. Please read verse 18 in Hebrew. Fernando or Charles, please feel free.
Verse 18.
Yes, Samuel 2, Shmuel Bet, chapter 1, verse 18.
Verse 18. ויאמר ללמד בני יהודה, קשת הנה כתובה על ספר הישר.
Thank you so much. And Fernando, can you please read the English verse next to it?
Yes. And said to teach the sons of Yehuda the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Shashar.
Thank you. In his lamentation, in his sad song, he asked to teach the sons of Judah the bow. And comes another line which says, this is written on the book of Jesher, on the straight book, on the honesty book. What is book of Jesher? Have you heard the name before, the book of Jesher? Is the first time you hear this?
I have the book of Jesher.
You have the book
Yes.
of Jesher. Excellent. And Fernando?
Yes, I have the book of Keshet as well.
That's great. Sefer HaYashar, the book of Jesher, HaYashar, here is a nickname for Bereshit. Bereshit, the first book of Moses, Bereshit, Genesis, is called also Sefer HaYashar, the straight or the honest book, and I will color the letters. Why they call it Sefer HaYashar, David called it Bereshit, Sefer HaYashar. We have three letters, Yod, Shin, Resh, and they appear here. Yod, Shin, and Resh. So Bereshit is the straight or the honest book or the direct book. Why? Because in Bereshit we also find the names of the patriarch and Israel also. Jacob, which is named later Israel, holds the letters Yashar, straight and honest. 1 second, I'll move to another color and I'll write his name and we shall see the letters. Yisrael. Yisrael. After he struggled with the angel Jacob, he got the name Israel, and we have Sefer HaYashar. Again, the same 3 letters. So Sefer HaYashar, the Sefer HaYashar refers to Bereshit. Bereshit, which contains the letters Yashar, straight, Yod, Shin, Resh. Also Sarai, those are the same letters. Sarai, the wife of Abraham, this is the same letters. Sarai. And Shir, a song, also the same letters. And also Yashar, straight, honest, and direct. All of those appears in the 6 letters of Bereshit, the first book of, the first book of the Bible, yes. But, and here comes the secret, why Sefer HaYashar? We could say generally because it's Israel, Yashar El, and so straight and direct with God, but there's another secret in it. And it refers to the name of the patriarchs in Hebrew and their values. 1 second, I'll open it. Abraham contains 9 times the tetragrammaton. Isaac contains 8 times the tetragrammaton, and Jacob holds 7 times the tetragrammaton. The tetragrammaton 26, what is tetragrammaton? The name with the 4 letters Yod Hey Vav Hey has the value of 26. This is the inner name of God. His name is in a being mode, the most intimate and the most inner. Again, this is the most inner and the most intimate name of God. And since the value of 26 exists in all of the names of the patriarch, we can check it, we can prove it, I prove it to you. And since this value, this intimate relation, exists directly in the 3 names of the patriarch, Bereshit, Genesis, is called the book of Jesher, the direct, the honest, the intimate book, because there's a direct, those not just names like any other name, I don't want to say any other name just on air, but those names are reflecting the value of the tetragrammaton. This is why David called it the book of Jesher. Is that clear? First of all, the concept, is that clear?
Yeah, it's clear and amazing. Yes,
it's transparent because it's like glass. We can see Isaac has the value of 208, and 208 is 8 times 26. Jacob is 182, and 182 is 7 times 26. And Abraham, there's a hidden component, but also there's like 9 times 26, but in a hidden way. As Rodrigo found, I have to mention his name because he found this connection. So this is why it calls, or David called the book of, he mentions here the book of Jesher and refers to Bereshit, or to the names of the fathers that had intimate relation with the higher. Now, we clarify this concept of the book of Jesher, Sefer HaYashar, the honest, the direct, the intimate book. But I would like to move with you to the painting and look at, I would say, the arch. Can you focus? If I make this bigger, at this is the end or the edge of the arrow. Do you see something here? Do you see something here? Fernando Charles. Do you see something?
A star? Maybe?
A star.
A star.
Yes, and I will move. I enlarge it here. Very good. This is Gobelin. You see, those are stitching. And I enlarge this detail. There is a star here. Now, at the edge of the arrow, there is a star. Now, the question is, what is the archer? What kind of concept the artist wants to share with us, and how this is connect to how do you say, David poem to teach the sons of Yehuda the archery, or Keshet. English we say archery. This is arch, and this is the archer, the man who uses the arch. In Hebrew we call it Keshet. Keshet. And this is chetz. Chetz, arrow from chatzi. It just cuts everything. What do you notice here? What is happening here?
We can see the star is the number 5, right?
Yes.
And the bow and the arrow make a triangle, so two
Yes.
triangles, in fact.
Okay, so let's, yes, I would like to color, I would like to mark what you say. Yes, 1 second and take a color. You say that the star has 5. I'll take a thinner pen, 1 second. Thank you, Victoria, for participating. Thank you. The star has 5, like, and you say there are 2 triangles here. Yes, I would like to mark them. There's another friend here, Jill. Good morning, Jill. This is what you mean, Fernando?
Yes.
Yes. So you say this is 1 triangle. And there's another one. Yes? This one, Fernando? I'm not sure. Yes?
Exactly it.
Yes. So you said that there are 2 triangles here. Now, the arrow, or the head of the arrow, is supposed to go where the star is, isn't that? Usually?
Yes.
I make the star like with a pen. But look what happens when we draw the triangle. It seems that the man is pulling his arm back to take the arrow, so to speak, out to the future. But look what happens. In a way, this is a parallel movement. Do you see that? This is supposed to be the future, or outside. This is the direction that the bow, the arrow should move. But look what happens. Where's the tension? Where is the tension? Here, in an opposite direction, we have the same tension. I'll make it with a different color. This is the paradox of the archer, or if you heard about this in mathematics. Here, there's like another arrow. So, returning to David's poem, he asked to teach the son of Judah Keshet. Keshet literally is archery, but since the Bible is not a literal book, what is Keshet? Let's open the word Keshet. Keshet. What is Keshet?
Rainbow.
Rainbow, one possibility. Yes, another one is like art. Like we can say the art of archery, like how would we say as like martial art? The question is, David asked to teach the son of Judah martial art. This is the question. Let's go to the...
Eti,
Yes.
it's just one idea, but when we get the ikbahur that you teach to us,
Yes.
we can
The code
we can
ikbach.
we
Yeah.
can
I
yes, the
just want
code.
to write it. This is code. Yes. Yes.
We can think as name. We can form names like shit. That I mentioned in one letter to you, that in the book of Zohar is said that all the creation Bereshit, Barashit, the creation was made to shit, that we have just right there, shit, that is the son of Adam, who resembles Adam and Hava, plus the covenant, that is the Yod, or the number one. So I think that we can see in this Keshet the masculine, that is the Shin, the feminine, that is the Tav, and the covenant, that is the Kuf, the one.
Excellent. Excellent. In ikbachar is a code when Aleph, which is 1, equal to Yod, which is 10, and equal to Kuf, which is 100. 100, 10, and 1 are equal. This is why Aleph equals Yod equals Kuf. So what did Fernando do? He decoded Keshet. He left Shin and Tav as they are, and he took the Kof as Yod. So now we have Yod, Shin, and Tav, and he took the Shin, wrote it first, the Yod second. Yes, Fernando, the Tav last. Is that right? This is how you think? I share it with the class. And then Shin is like shit. Bereshit is part, the 1/2 of the word Bereshit. Bereshit created the 6. Shit is 6. Shit here is 6. 6th day of creation, or Shet. Those letters, Shin and Taf, are also Shet, son of Adam. With the covenant is Shit. Second. Barashit, meaning Bara created Shet. Shet, which has the covenant of the 10. Bara Shet plus Yod. Bara created Shet with the Yod. So basically what you say, Fernando, I just open a bit the way you think. So basically, there you said also another thing about feminine and masculine, yes? You said that the 3, the Shin, is the 3 or 300 is masculine, and the Tav, the 400 or the 4, is feminine. And the covenant between the feminine and the masculine, or the spirit and the matter. This is the meaning of Bereshit. Is that so, Fernando?
Precisely, yes.
So, let's go back to the word of David. To teach the sons of Judah Keshet is to teach them the bow. It means to teach them what? the beginning, the covenant between the feminine and the masculine, the spirit and the matter. This is why it's written in the book of Jesher, because the book of Jesher is Bereshit, and Bereshit holds this wisdom, the covenant between the feminine and the masculine, the spirit and the matter. Now, go back to the painting or to the gobelin. We could see, now when we look at the painting, one second, I would like us to focus on this. When we speak about line and a circle, what is feminine, what is masculine? Line and a circle.
I would say that the line is masculine and the circle feminine.
Yes, the line is masculine here. Okay, here. This is masculine, the line. And here we have the feminine. It's part of a bigger cycle. This is feminine. Very good. Very good. And there's a covenant between them. Between
yes,
the bow
and it's
and
beautiful because we can see the abundance in this painting, you know, the fruits and the trees. It makes me remember the vru, the fruitify and multiply, you know, the idea behind when we have a marriage between the spirit and the matter, we have an abundance of life.
Yes. It's great. Be fruitful and multiply. The blessing that we find in Genesis 1. Genesis 1. It has the value of 500. Be fruitful and multiply. The first blessing that God gives to Adam. Be fruitful and multiply gives a value of 500. Because it is the potential, reach the potential. And as we learn, you can also write it here, because 500, be fruitful and multiple, it's like 5. And this is the covenant. The 5 is the covenant between the 3 and the 4. Questions? Fernando, Jill, Charles, Victoria, thank you for writing. You said you like the book of Jesher. So interesting. Yes. It is to read the book of Jesher. A person has to have a certain ability to contain deep truths, but also the depths of lie. So a person has to stomach. It's not an easy book to read because it exposes many lies. So a person has to have a stomach to, first of all, to meet the lies in reality, to be able to stomach the book of Jesher. This is why it's so hard to read the book of Jesher. Questions? If there aren't any question, I would like to show you another perspective here of another bow. One second. I moved the painting that I could write on it. Here there is another one. It's seemingly the branch of the tree. It seemingly appears as nature call, but look. Now another question which comes into mind. Is the arrow is only a wooden arrow, or the man's arm is part of the arrow?
Yes, it's like a mirror, because we
Yes,
have the number 5 in the edge of this straight line, and we have the hand of the man that also is 5. It's 1 and 4 yad. Right? So
excellent. Now, the hand of the man, which is holding the arrow, like he holds this arm short to pull the arrow back, to have the tension. His fist again against what in the human body is standing? Which arm does he stretch back to give the tension to the arrow to go forward? Which arm of his he takes back? Which arm of his is going straight? And which arm he pulls back?
The right arm is straight and the left arm is pulling back.
Excellent. And now, so to speak, the fist or his left palm against what organ in the human body is?
The heart.
Heart. Excellent. Excellent. So, this is excellent. Against the heart. Now the question, what does it mean, Keshet? Keshet is not just a bow or an arch. Keshet is also for levakesh. In Aramaic is to ask. Is to ask and pray. Levakesh is to ask or to pray. Second, levakesh. Lev, I'm sorry, I'm dividing, I'm a bit excited, excuse me. Levakesh is to ask. To ask for something. But we can divide the word into two. Lev, a heart, what is stored in the heart, inside of the heart. And kesh is like something which is hard, like question. We have deep questions about things that we don't, very, very deep questions that we ask, why? Why is that so? So, Keshet or Kushia, question, is to ask question, is to pray. Levakesh, to ask the hardest thing that we can think of or feel for. Why hardest? Because Kof is 100 and Shin is 3. Together they make 400. He asked to teach the son of Judah to pray, to ask, because this is written in the book of Jasher, to be intimate, to ask, because if we deny, and this is the thing here, we can play heroes. This is what people do, play heroes. But inside, the heart whispers. The heart is different than the persona that usually people pull out when they act out in the world. And the heart knows when the heart feels. And this is what David asks. Teach the sons of Judah to pray. Not just to be warriors. This is not what he is asking for. That they will be warriors, because we have to remember Who is the son of Judah? David himself is son of Judah. David is coming from Judah, from Bethlehem. He is the son of the son of the son. There are a few generations between them, but he is the son of Judah. So ask the sons of Judah to pray. He basically, he doesn't say to God, ask me, David, to pray. He includes himself, and this is a great modesty. He doesn't say, give me, like people go to the rabbi, people go to the priest, give me children, give me money, give me wife, He doesn't do it. He includes himself in the general because he is also son of Judah. And he says, teach the sons of Judah. He doesn't ask about himself. He asks about the many, Bnei Yehuda, not Ben Yehuda's son in singular. Again, about himself. He includes in the community. He says, teach the sons of Judah to ask and to pray. Because it's hard to pray.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Why is it so hard to pray? And I don't mean pray when people technically open the book of prayer and read something. It's also you can unite with the letters and so. Why is it so hard to pray? Because yes, who would like to answer? Why is it hard to pray? A prayer from the heart, Why it is so hard?
Because you need a pure heart.
Yes.
To pray.
Yes. 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 To pray is also to admit soft soft deficiencies in us, or soft moments, and to admit the truth, to admit that we were mistaken, wrong, we would like to be better in this direction. Is not demand, but it entails a lot of honesty. To have a real deep prayer from the heart, we cannot do a deep prayer from the heart unless we are straight and honest with ourselves, and we admit inside of ourselves what really happens. So it is hard, first of all, to set this table. This is what David says, set the table against my enemies. Enemies are not outside of us, in another building, in another city, is inside of us, all kinds of thoughts and emotions and storms and what happens inside. So first of all, to make a prayer, we have to have a clear heart, and we have to see what is going inside the heart. There are things, there are all kinds of emotions and impressions that are stored as unconscious, unattended moments, and they are there, like babies, unborn babies, and they are sometimes shouting. So to pray, first of all, we have to open and see this Pandora box, what is there inside, and then we make an order, and then we can see what is correct, not correct, and then we can ask for the truth. But it demands a lot of work. This is why he says to teach the sons of Judah Keshet. Keshet, not just the bow or to pray. Keshet is also kashe. Kashe is hard. It's so hard to be pure. It is so hard to be honest. It is so hard to admit our faults to ourselves.
E.T.
Yes.
Just one question.
Mm-hmm.
In the David's prayer, when he asks for a pure heart, he uses the word nahon, I think, if I remember well. It's like
1 second. I will bring the verse. Lev tahor, like pure heart. 1 second. I'll bring it.
Yes.
Yes. 1 second. I hope that the system will not crash. 1 second. Excuse me. Yes.
Psalm 51.
Psalm. Can you read, please? Because I'm not sure that I can open another Psalms. Yes. Can you please read?
Psalm 51. Okay.
Yes.
Psalm 51.
We are looking.
Verse 12, he says, Lev tahor bichali Elohim, veruach nachon chadesh bekribi, al tashlicheni milfanecha, veruach kodishecha, al tichak mimeni, ashivali sasun yishecha, veruach nediva tismucheni. Or in English, a pure heart create for me, O God, and a steadfast spirit renew within me. Cast me not away from your presence, and your Holy Spirit take not from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and with a generous spirit sustain me.
Thank you so much. This is Psalms. Yes.
51, 12 to
51.
14.
Psalms 50. Second. Psalms 51. Which verses, Charles? Again? Second. Let's look at it.
12 to
12.
14.
12, 14. Thank you. So, Fernando, you ask about Nachon, yes? The word Nachon.
Yes.
Thank you. Nachon is right.
You know what I've seen, Eti? Sorry.
Yes, yes.
When you look at the word ruach, it ends with het, and the nachon, it starts with nun. Chokma nista.
Excellent. Straight spirit. Very good. Ruach. Nachon. Very good. So you say this is het and this is nun, and together Chokhmat Nistar, hidden wisdom. This is the right spirit. This is hidden wisdom.
And Nahon gives us 126. It's beautiful. Also, we have the number 5 in both extremities, and the 26 inside. In the structure of the word, we have 50, 26, 50. So I was just thinking that it's the man in front of the infinity, the potential, this hidden wisdom that Charles just said.
Another thing that I would like to share with you is the sample here at the skirt. Do you manage to see the pattern? I hope that you can see the pattern also on YouTube. And 1 second, tell me just if you can see, because at the moment, 1 second, I don't have another screen to look. Can you see the pattern or it does not move yet? I see that it does not move at the moment. Fernando, do you see, do you have access to YouTube? Because I see it does not move somehow. The painting does not move. Okay, now maybe there is a delay. I think there is a delay. Yes,
Yes, I think there is a delay.
There
It's
is a
okay.
delay. It's
Yes.
okay. So, do you see the pattern? Make it a bit bigger. Do you see the pattern here on the skirt? Do you see the kind of a pattern? This? I'll color it a bit that it will be visible. It's turquoise. I'll take it. No, it's too thick. Nobody will. 1 second. I have to change the pen. Second. Here. Do you see this pattern? This, if you can see it, maybe I'll remove this. This pattern is called Idra. Idra. You remember that we were speaking about the months of Adar, and we were speaking about that Adar is also the fish bone, or the herringbone as they call it in English. I will move and I will make us a list here. 1 second. We were speaking about the months of Adar. Adar. Make it another color. Please ask questions if you feel that you want to say something. Really feel free. I just want to expand our horizon and to connect things. We were speaking about the months of Adar. Adar is the 12th month, Hebrew calendar. And we were saying that Idra basically, Idra is also the skeleton of the fish bone. They call it the herringbone in English, herringbone. But it's a skeleton of a fish, like we see, like something like this. In Hebrew we call this Idra. Adar. Adar is the 12th month, and its sign is fish. We have 2 fishes. Fish. Idra, again it comes, Idra, the bone or the skeleton of the fish also comes, interesting, from Adar, Idra. And Idra is also a room, a space. A room, a space, a seat, and so on. It's also a pattern that usually people have either when they put tiles on the floor. There are many ways to put tiles you can open, but this is a very, very vast name. Adar, Idra, and one of those words that also associated with Idra is this decoration on the skirt of the archer. This is also called Idra. Again, this is also called Idra. I read this morning that also seats in the airplane are shaped in the skeleton of a fish. This is very, very interesting because we as humans are always learning from nature, how nature behaves, and when we apply it in our lives, it makes us better and light and happier. So this is another sample that took my attention that I would like to share with you. questions? Impressions, Jill? Fernando, Charles, impressions that you would like to share with us at the moment?
Just following you, it is beautiful. Just thinking.
You're welcome. Jill, questions, impressions?
First, I'm sorry that I'm late, you all.
It's
But
okay.
I don't really. I'm just listening to you because
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit behind on what you were saying. But I do have a question. The room, the space, the seat, and the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is that related to what you were saying earlier about the clear heart? What is inside? Is it that there is that creating that pure heart is creating the room and the space? I guess I'm just trying to make the connection. I'm not sure.
This is the connection because Idra is also a room, a space, and yes, yes, because Idra is also part, two major parts in the book of Zohar called Idra, Idra Rabbah, the great room or the great space or the great seat, and there's a little room, Idra Zuta, the little space. It is true, or assembly. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, it is. It is very good because the question is really in its place. Because when when we don't have a space in the heart, we are nothing. If we don't have a space in the heart, we are nothing. Because what makes us alive and merciful is the space that we have in the heart.
Can I say something?
Yes, of course.
When you were explaining this word levakesh,
Mm-hmm.
I saw a parallel with the students of Jesus. They also came to him and asked him, teach us how to pray. Because they were saying we don't know how to pray. Teach us how to pray. So exactly when you fully explained the word levakesh, like me, most times I read the Bible in Hebrew. This word levakesh is there many times when somebody is asking levakesh. So now you have actually made it very clear for me now to see it from another deeper perspective when you broke it down to say it's lev, which is the heart, and kashe, things which are hard questions. Because in reality, when we are looking at what is to pray, like you and also Fernando added concerning like to have a pure heart. But inside our hearts, we've got so many things, like you said, emotions, this and that. We are struggling inside, but now how can a good prayer come from a heart which has got so many contradictions? And I saw deep teachings concerning prayer and what is inside us and how we can bring something good out of your heart, which is filled with so many things. And I just want to thank you for that, because it has opened another dimension now to look at when that word is coming. You don't just look at it literally to say levakesh, to ask, but to ask in what way, because there are two words, the heart and the hard things.
Yes, it is hard to be honest, to look inside of our heart, because there, like Jill said, there's a space in the room. What is happening inside the heart? This is the most inner thing. I mean, not in terms of organ, like we learn medicine, like in the medicine lesson. It is the core of our being, and what is happening there is so deep. It has memories and layers and impressions, and sometimes it's about something that happens and evokes something from there. This is why David is asking about he speaks about the walls of the heart. Yes, the walls of the heart. And sometimes there are walls there are impressions, there are memories. People go through many things in life, and the heart is a storage place, not just physical organ, but live. Heart is 3 and 2, which is 5, the potential. Lev is also hold the heart, also holds the 5, like we saw the star that Fernando was mentioning before, the 5. We have 3 and 2, and 2 and 3, it's 5. So the whole potential is stored there, and it's we have to be ready to the process of to ask, because we don't know what will come out, what will pop out. It's like you open a cabinet, who knows what there all kinds of impressions sometimes. This is, if you have another 2 minutes, I would like to discuss with you about the impressions and what do they bring from us, and ask.
It's okay.
Yes, Levakesh. Let's say let's take a person, a man or a person walks down the street. Let's say it's a hot day, hot, very very hot, 100 Fahrenheit in North America or 42 degrees in Celsius, very hot day. There is no shade, there is no tree, there is no bench, there is no water. Person walks and walks, and suddenly the sun is so hard on the man that his heart is asking if, if there was a little bit of shade here, if I would have a little bit of water. And suddenly, what do we look? If we take ourselves, our personalities from the process, we see a man under very hard sun. And if you put a man under this influence of very very hot day with no facilities, the prayer comes naturally. Suddenly his heart would curve for shadow, for water, for rest, for chilling feeling. And secondly, he would speak, the words will suddenly drop out of his mouth, and he would say, I wish there was here a tree, I wish I could have some water. He would pray naturally. And take the same man, put on him a snow, minus 20 degrees, let's say, Celsius, I don't know how much is in Fahrenheit, but a snowstorm. And person with a coat, with a hat, shivering, doesn't have gloves. He just mumble, I wish I had a cup of tea. I wish I could go somewhere and warm my hands. Why do I give those example of a very hot day and very cold day? We are this little man. Put on us a hard sun. We naturally ask for water, and we shall naturally ask for shade. Put us under storm, snowstorm, we shall ask for warm feeling, tea, maybe a hut to melt, to feel human again, not just under attack. This is how we walk in our lives. There are all kinds of influence around us, not just the sun and the snow. Sometimes influence is to go through certain people that they have like some kind of a behavior. This is also influence on us, bad or good, I don't judge. But I would like us like to make this exercise and to see ourselves as people who are walking in the world or in the daily life. We are walking innocently, and sometimes like the sun comes, or like a snow, or certain influence by people, left or right, and those moments bringing from our mouth and from our heart like a craving, like the man, he is asking for shadow, or he is in a cold day asking for warm tea. Also, hard moments that we cross through the day, through our life, brings from our mouth, from our heart, certain kind of prayer. Try to listen to the prayer which are coming from your mouth, from your heart, through those moments. Don't judge them. Just look at it objectively. A person, we were put under a certain influence in an aim that something will come out from us. And look what comes out. Don't judge it. This is very interesting. Because our tendency is always to do the good and not to have like a stress moment and to be calm and everything and sovereign. But there are days and there are moments that we are crossing, let's say, unpleasant moment. I bring it as a sun or as a snow, but everybody can understand those images in his own way. So don't be not don't be, but it's not to be so much angry or about ourselves, just to see what comes out, because those moments are directed specifically for us to bring something very inner, that we could mirror the inner impression inside. So those moments is like when you take an olive and you press it with a stone and suddenly oil comes out. This is it. This is how in ancient times they used to take the olive and to put it under a stone, and then the oil is pouring. Yes, you put a stone and then there's drops of oil. So all those situations that we're crossing, sometimes they are not pleasant, sometimes they are painful, sometimes they not just one moment, sometimes those situations occurring for years. But all of those tunnels, their aim is one: to press the olive. We are the olive, that the oil will come. Shemen, shemen. It's not just oil, but it has the value of 390, which is in a way Shamayim, the heavenly aspect of us. So all of those moments that we feel stressed, stuck, mistreated, there are many moments. All of those moments are coming to push us to a place that we shall seek only the heavens and the Word and the Spirit.
Beautiful, it really, really amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It makes me think a lot of moments and ideas, and I thank you for sharing this beautiful insight.
Thank you. Any questions that are on your heart, mind, that you would like to share? Thank you, Victoria.
If I may, it's just one question,
Yeah.
because sometimes these moments happen and come to us, even prayers that we do not know how to pray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember a personal event, but just to say that um, some time ago came to my mind like the music Hana Behor,
Mm-hmm.
in a specific moment, and I may it resounds in my head like all along the way this song, because I do not know the prayer exactly. I know some parts, but it came to my mind like a bell saying you need to study this and to know by heart and to enter in relationship with this idea, you know. And now you are bringing this idea of Zeit and oil and something that comes from the hidden, you know, something that comes from you do not know where it was stored, the idea, and
Yes,
it come to your heart.
yes, it is very, very good, Fernando, what you mentioned. Sometimes something comes to us and appears like an impression and says, learn me, study me. We just suddenly we sing a song. Why does this song comes to me? Why do I sing those three words? And those three words which are coming to you, Ana Bechor, please, and yeah, they come to open a gate in us, a room in us, a space in the heart. They come to open our heart. So it is good if we cherish those moments and we relate to those impressions which are coming. Sometimes it's a word, sometimes it's a song, sometimes it's painting. And the painting says, "But I'm here. Please look at me. I want to teach you. I want to be in relation with you. So open me, open." And this is how moments are presenting themselves to us, and they ask us to relate. And the more we relate to them, the more we, in a way, walk in with the Spirit. It is. This is how it is to walk with the Spirit. They always. The Spirit is very, how do you say, suggestive, and attentive. So it's like always opening and supporting. This is how the Spirit is.
It was exactly just like this that I felt it. Like study me, you know, just
Mm.
to. It
This,
was like a conversation. It wasn't my memory, you know. It was something that just came.
yes, those moments are like little angels that are coming to us, like the cherubim, the cherubim, those little babies upon the ark. Those are those moments, very innocent. They appear, they're very little, they're very soft, kind, and very illuminating it. Very kindly, they ask us to join them. Yes, those moments. And the more we acknowledge them and we escort them, or they escort us, or we let them escort us, the more spirited we come and kind-hearted. And it is easier for us to move during the day because we have those moments and those gates, because we are basically walking in heaven with them, with those moments. And everything looks different from this perspective. I would like to thank all of you for participating in this beautiful conversation. To people who participate in YouTube, Victoria, and we have Mark, and those who are kept hidden without names that are just watching or listening, and to you, Fernando and Charles and Jill, I would like to greet you with Shabbat Shalom. To everyone, Shabbat Shalom. And wish you
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Wish you all a wonderful week.
Shabbat Shalom, Eti. Thank you so much. Thank you, friends, Jill, Charles, and all the friends.
Shalom.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so much. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. See you on Monday. Take care until then. I'll miss you. Shalom.
Mhm.